Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Sunil Barma and with me is Renuka Ares with the evening news. The headlines. India conducts highest ever single-day COVID-19 tests of over 7,33,000 samples. Recovery rate improves to over 70%. National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19 meets for the first time today. Deliberates on strategy to ensure availability of coronavirus vaccines and its delivery mechanism. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari calls for increased international investment in Indian highways and MSME sectors. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch platform for transparent taxation honouring the honest tomorrow. And 121 police personnel awarded Union Home Minister's Medal for Excellence in Investigation for 2020. India has conducted the highest ever single-day COVID-19 tests of over 7,33,000 in the last 24 hours. This has taken the cumulative tests to more than 2 crore 60 lakh. Union Health Ministry said the country's test, track and treat strategy has achieved another peak with 18,852 tests per million. The graded and evolving response has resulted in a testing strategy that steadily widened the testing net in the country. The testing lab network in the country is continuously strengthened with 1,421 labs, 944 labs in the government sector and 477 private labs. The country has also reported the highest ever single-day COVID-19 recoveries of over 56,000 patients in the last 24 hours. The Health Ministry said that 16,39,599 people have recovered till date. The recovery rate has reached another high of 70.38%. The actual caseload of the country is over 6,43,000, which is only 27.64% of the total positive cases. It said single-day spike of 60,963 COVID-19 cases has taken the virus caseload to over 23,29,000. In the last 24 hours, 834 deaths pushed the death toll to 46,091. National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19 deliberated on strategy to ensure COVID-19 vaccines availability and its delivery mechanism. They met for the first time today. The meeting was chaired by Dr. V.K. Paul, member Niti Aayog, along with Health Secretary as co-chair. The expert group deliberated on conceptualization and implementation mechanisms for creation of a digital infrastructure for inventory management and delivery mechanism of the vaccine, including tracking of vaccination process with particular focus on last mile delivery. They discussed on broad parameters guiding the selection of COVID-19 vaccine candidates for the country and sought inputs from Standing Technical Subcommittee of National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization. The group delved on the procurement mechanisms for COVID-19 vaccine, including both indigenous and international manufacturing, along with guiding principles for prioritization of population groups for vaccination. The expert group discussed the financial resources required for procurement of COVID-19 vaccine and various options of financing the vaccine. Available options in terms of delivery platforms, cold chain and associated infrastructure for rollout of COVID-19 vaccination were also taken up. Further strategy and follow-up action on all possible scenarios to ensure equitable and transparent delivery of vaccine was deliberated upon. India's support to its key neighbours and development partner countries for COVID-19 vaccines was deliberated upon. The expert group discussed that India will leverage domestic vaccine manufacturing capacity and will also engage with all international players for early delivery of vaccines, not only in India but also in low and middle income countries.
Air India has decided to stop flights to Madrid, Milan, Copenhagen, Vienna and Stockholm. This comes as the latest impact of the novel coronavirus pandemic on country's aviation sector. The national carrier, which is already hit by the pandemic, felt that operating on these routes would not be financially viable. Our correspondent quoting sources reports that Air India, however, will fly to London, Paris, Rome and Frankfurt in European Union. The Election Commission has postponed the due elections of Gram Panchayats, Zilla Parishads and Port Blair Municipal Council in Andaman and Nicobar Islands till further order. The decision has been taken after observing the current situation of COVID-19 in the islands. The Commission was informed earlier about the current COVID-19 situation by the administration. The tenure of all these institutions is going to complete in September this year. The Commission has completed major preparatory works like revision of electoral rolls. Now, the Election Commission will assess the situation and take proper action with respect to the proposed elections when the situation becomes normal. Jammu and Kashmir today recorded 482 fresh cases of COVID-19, bringing the total number of positive cases to 26,413 in the Union Territory. 8 deaths have been reported from Kashmir Division, taking the COVID death toll to 498. The number of active cases in the Union Territory is 7,392. With 544 more recoveries, the total number of recovered cases in Jammu and Kashmir has reached 18,523.
A total of 1,113 new confirmed cases of coronavirus have been reported in Delhi during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 1,48,504. The Delhi government has confirmed that over 1,33,000 people affected with coronavirus have been cured so far. In the last 24 hours, 1,021 people recovered and 14 deaths were reported in the national capital, taking the toll to 4,153. Presently, the total number of active corona cases in the national capital is 10,946.
In Odisha, the number of COVID-19 cases has crossed 50,000 mark. With 1,876 positive cases on a single day yesterday, the total number of coronavirus infected people in the state has reached 50,672. Out of them, 34,805 people have recovered, while 15,509 people are under treatment. The state has ramped up testing, which now has crossed 7,24,000 samples. Meanwhile, to maximize the pandemic awareness, especially among the youth, the state government has launched a mobile app, COVID Sangrami 2020 Challenge, on the International Youth Day today. A report.
Odisha, which could put the lead in the rapid expansion of the novel coronavirus in the initial phases of the pandemic, has of late been witnessing a daily source of COVID-19 tests. On an average, the daily case count in the state has been over 1,500 during the last few days. While all the 30 districts of the state have reported COVID-19 positive cases during the last 24 hours, the district of Katra, which houses the capital city of Bhubaneswar, has seen the highest inter-district positive cases at 297. The state, which reported the first COVID positive case on 15th March this year, is now witnessing a positivity rate of about 7%, a recovery rate of more than 68%, and death rate of about 0.6%. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Nagaland today reported 87 COVID-19 positive cases, taking the total number of affected people in the state to 3,118. Meanwhile, 128 people recovered from the infection and discharged from the hospitals today. With this, the state's active cases stand at 1,991, while 1,113 people have recovered from the infection. So far, 7 have succumbed to COVID-19 in the state.
Kerala continued to report surge in COVID-19 cases as 1,212 new cases were confirmed today. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said that among the new cases, 1,068 people were those who contracted the virus through contact. 6 people died due to COVID-19, taking the death toll to 126 in the state. 880 recoveries were also reported today. Presently, 13,045 affected people are under treatment in Kerala. Meanwhile, in the landslide-hit Rajamala area in Idukki district, the death toll has risen to 55 as 3 more bodies were recovered from the site today. In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you new views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Member Health in Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Paul urged everyone to follow social distancing in order to break the chain of transmission.
जब भी देश में वैक्सीन बनेगी उसका प्रोक्योरमेंट किस प्रकार से होगा, ये जो एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप है ये उस पे जरूर विचार करेगा. किसी देश विशेष में क्या वैक्सीन बन रही है, नहीं बन रही है, ये एकदम हाइपोथेटिकल प्रश्न है, इसका उत्तर इस समय नहीं दिया जा सकता है.
Dr. Sanjay Pandey of Govind Vallabh Pant Hospital, Delhi, spoke about the use of the mask, saying it is important to wear them while stepping out of home.
There is no treatment right now for coronavirus. It's very important to maintain the social distancing and the isolation. There are different guidelines, and the WHO says that person should be wearing mask. There is no doubt about that.
Union Minister Nitin Gadkari has called for increased investment by international institutions and bodies in the Indian highways and MSME sectors. He said automobile and micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, are the two growth engines of Indian economy. Addressing the Indo-Australian Chamber of Commerce and Womenovator on trade investment and collaborations in road infrastructure and MSMEs today, the minister said India and Australia are already cooperating in the road safety sector. He said this cooperation has provided better designs for roads and awareness opportunities for the public. Under Indian Road Safety Assessment Program, 21,000 kilometre roads have been assessed and about 3,000 kilometre road length is under technological upgradation. He said better road engineering and increased public awareness have brought improvement.
The Road Transport and Highways Ministry has allowed registration of electric vehicles without pre-fitted batteries. In a letter to Transport Secretaries of all the states and union territories, the ministry has clarified that vehicles without batteries can be sold and registered based on the type approval certificate issued by the test agency. It said there is no need to specify the make type or any other details of the battery for the purpose of registration. The government is striving to create an ecosystem to accelerate the uptake of electric mobility in the country. The ministry said it is time to come together to work jointly to achieve the broader national agenda to reduce vehicular pollution and oil import bill. The work has started on the first of its kind Katra Delhi Express Road Corridor, which will be ready by 2023. Disclosing this today, Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh said when it becomes functional, the travel time from Katra to Delhi will get reduced to around 6.5 hours and from Jammu to Delhi to just about 6 hours. He stated that once this express road corridor becomes functional, people will prefer to travel to Delhi by road instead of undertaking journey by train or by air. He said the hallmark of this road corridor is that it will connect the holy cities of Katra and Amritsar and at the same time offer connectivity for some other major important religious shrines between the two destinations.
The number of loans sanctioned under the PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi PM Swanidhi scheme has crossed 1 lakh. The number of applications received under the scheme has crossed the 5 lakh mark within 41 days of commencement of the lending process. The PM Swanidhi scheme has generated considerable enthusiasm amongst the street vendors who've been looking for access to affordable working capital credit for restarting their businesses post-COVID-19 lockdown. The scheme was launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs under the ambit of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. It aims at facilitating collateral-free working capital loans up to 10,000 rupees of 1-year tenure to about 50 lakh street vendors in the urban areas, including those from the surrounding peri-urban and rural areas. The government has rejected a claim of a newspaper that the centre is going to stop use of urea in agriculture. In a tweet, Press Information Bureau has termed the news as fake. It clarified that no such decision has been taken by the government to discontinue the use of urea in farming.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India conducts highest ever single-day COVID-19 tests of over 7,33,000 samples. Recovery rate improves to over 70%. National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19 meets for the first time today. Deliberates on strategy to ensure availability of coronavirus vaccines and its delivery mechanism. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari calls for increased international investment in Indian highways and MSME sectors. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch platform for transparent taxation honouring the honest tomorrow. And 121 police personnel awarded Union Home Minister's Medal for Excellence in Investigation for 2020. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
जालिम लोशन की ओर से कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं।
खुजली झटपट दूर करे
वो है जालिम लोशन।
वही नाम वही काम, कुछ भी नहीं बदला। चर्म रोगों का दुश्मन जालिम लोशन।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the platform for transparent taxation honouring the honest through video conferencing tomorrow. The Central Board of Direct Taxes (CBDT) has carried out several major tax reforms in direct taxes in the recent years. Last year, the corporate tax rates were reduced from 30% to 22%, and for new manufacturing units, the rates were reduced to 15%. Dividend distribution tax was also abolished. The focus of the tax reforms has been on reduction in tax rates and on simplification of direct tax laws. Several initiatives have been taken by the CBDT for bringing in efficiency and transparency in the functioning of the IT department. This includes bringing more transparency in official communications through the newly introduced Document Identification Number (DIN), wherein every communication of the department would carry a computer-generated unique document identification number. The upcoming launch of the platform by the Prime Minister will further carry forward the journey of direct tax reforms. The event will be witnessed by various chambers of commerce, trade associations, chartered accountants associations, and also eminent taxpayers, apart from the officers and officials of Income Tax Department. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and Minister of State for Finance Anurag Singh Thakur will be present on the occasion.
The Union Home Minister's Medal for Excellence in Investigation for 2020 has been awarded to 121 police personnel. The medal was constituted in 2018 with the objective to promote high professional standards of investigation of crime and to recognize such excellence in investigation by investigating officers. Among the personnel receiving these awards, 15 are from Central Bureau of Investigation, 10 each are from Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra Police, 8 are from Uttar Pradesh Police, and 7 each are from Kerala and West Bengal Police. The remaining are from the other states and union territories. These include 21 women police officers. In this last 6 years, the government has taken many important decisions on defence. Ending a 4-decade-long wait for veterans, Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led NDA government announced the One Rank One Pension scheme for ex-servicemen. In a major boost to the armed forces, the Defence Acquisition Council (DAC) yesterday approved the procurement of defence equipment for an approximate cost of over 8,722 crore rupees, including 106 basic trainer aircraft for the Indian Air Force. The step will strengthen the armed forces by relying on indigenous capability to take forward the initiative on Atmanirbhar Bharat. Our correspondent reports that the government is giving emphasis on positioning India among the top countries of the world in defence and aerospace sectors, from design to production, with the active participation of public and private sector, fulfilling the twin objectives of self-reliance and exports.
Recently, Defence Ministry has issued the formal government sanction letter for grant of permanent commission women officers in the Indian Army, paving the way for empowering women officers to hold a larger role in the organization. In 2018, the Indian Air Force inducted 3 women as fighter pilots. India's journey towards self-reliant defence got a major boost after Defence Minister Rajnath Singh announced that a list of 101 items for which there would be an embargo on the import beyond the timeline, ending a 4-decade-long wait of veterans. Prime Minister Narendra Modi 2018 announced the One Rank One Pension for ex-servicemen. It implies that uniform pension to be paid to the armed forces personnel retiring in the same rank with the same length of service, regardless of the date of retirement. And finally, a batch of 5 Rafale fighter jets touched down at the Ambala Air Base last month. Rafale is the first Western combat aircraft to join the Indian Air Force 23 years after Sukhoi aircrafts were imported. Sobhagya, Air News, Delhi.
Security has been intensified across the Jammu region with increased checking and patrolling ahead of the Independence Day celebrations. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that as a measure of multi-tier security, police have deployed additional quick response teams, QRTs, in Jammu city to deal with any situation. The main function of the Independence Day in Jammu will be held at Mini Stadium at Parade Ground. Border grid security has been tightened and all border roads are being kept under a strict watch. SSP Jammu Sridhar Patil has said adequate security arrangements have been made to ensure Independence Day passes off peacefully.
In yet another ceasefire violation, Pakistani army troops initiated unprovoked and indiscriminate firing with small arms and heavy mortar shelling along the line of control in Naushera sector of Rajouri district of Jammu and Kashmir this evening. PRO Defence Colonel Devinder Anand has said that the alert Indian Army troop guarding the fence are retaliating befittingly with equal caliber. The exchange of fire continued till reports last came in. There are no reports of damage to any property and loss of any life from the Indian side so far. Details are awaited. Karnataka Home Minister Basavaraj Bommai has said that a magisterial inquiry will be instituted to probe into the mob violence at Devarajivanhalli and Kadugondaganahalli in Bengaluru last night. Speaking to the media persons in Bengaluru today, Mr. Bommai said that the meeting headed by Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has decided to appoint a district magistrate to probe into the incident as per the guidelines issued by the Human Rights Commission. He also said that 145 suspects related to the riots are taken into police custody. He said the government will recover the losses arising from damage to public property during the violence from rioters as per the directions of the Supreme Court. He said that the situation is now peaceful and the state has sought additional forces from neighbouring states to maintain law and order. It is being reported that the riots and vandalism were the results of an objectionable Facebook post. 3 people had died, several police personnel were injured and damage was caused to houses and vehicles during the violence. Minister of State for Ayush and Defence, Shripad Y. Nayak, has tested positive for coronavirus. In a tweet, Mr. Nayak said he has tested positive for coronavirus infection and has opted for home isolation. Mr. Nayak said he has opted for self-isolation as he is asymptomatic and added his vitals are within normal limits. The minister said those who have come in contact with him in the last few days are advised to get tested for themselves and take required precautions.
The festival of Janmashtami, which marks the birth of Lord Krishna, is being celebrated with religious fervour and gaiety in different parts of the country today. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted people on the occasion. The festival was celebrated across all the districts of Jammu region. Keeping in view the COVID-19 pandemic, there was no gathering in temples and religious places. People celebrated the day at their homes, offering special prayers and puja. In Uttar Pradesh, special celebration is taking place in Mathura, the birthplace of Lord Krishna. The celebration at Mathura has a unique aspect of social harmony this time, that is the flute of Lord Krishna, which is specially designed by Muslim artists of Pilbhit. We have a report.
Lord Krishna had a special connection with his bansuri, the flute, and we all know how he used to mesmerize everyone on its tune. Although Lord Krishna was born in Mathura and a grand celebration is going on there on this occasion, but this celebration has a unique and interesting connection with Pilibhit district in the Tarai region of a state, which is famous for making flute. This time also special flutes made by Muslim artisans of Pilibhit have been sent to Mathura for the occasion of Janmashtami festival. In Pilibhit, around 200 Muslim artists designed the flute, which is famous worldwide and has been chosen as the district product in ambitious One District One Product scheme of a state government. Prisoners in Pilibhit district are also making beautiful flutes nowadays. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Krishna Janmashtami is being celebrated in virtual mode in Gujarat due to COVID-19 pandemic. AIR correspondent reports that the famous Sri Dwarkadhish temple and Sri Ranchoddraji temple have made special arrangements for a live webcast of the Krishna Janmotsav inside the temple.
Pilgrimage town Dwarka is looking deserted as Sri Dwarkadhish temple is closed for devotees. Similarly, Sri Ranchoddraji temple in Dakor is also closed for devotees. However, all the religious rituals and traditions are being followed inside the temple. Live streaming of Sri Krishna Janmotsav celebrated inside Sri Dwarkadhish temple is available on the temple's website and YouTube channel. Sri Ranchoddraji temple in Dakor and many temples in Ahmedabad, including ISKCON and Hare Krishna Mandir, have made special arrangements for online webcast of Sri Krishna Janmotsav for 100 of their devotees. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
The widely popular Dahi Handi festival, marking Krishna Janmashtami festival, is a low-key affair in Mumbai this time owing to the pandemic. While most of the big organizers of the festival preferred to cancel the celebrations this year, the housing societies organized their own mini Dahi Handis with just 2 tiers. Others opted for day-long virtual celebrations in the form of Maha-Aartis, chanting of mantras, havans and religious discourses, showing them online on the temple website, Facebook and YouTube channels.
Today is the International Youth Day. The day gives an opportunity to celebrate and mainstream young people's voices, actions and initiatives as well as their meaningful, universal and equitable engagement. The theme of this year is Youth Engagement for Global Action. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has urged young people across the world to be active change agents in building a more equitable and sustainable world. The World Elephant Day is being celebrated today. In Tamil Nadu, the first Elephant Rescue and Rehabilitation Centre has been established in Trichy to take care of sick and orphan elephants. Talking to AIR News, Trichy and Dindigal Forest Range Officer Tirunavakarasu said that at present 7 elephants are being taken care of in the centre. The elephants are treated for their specific diseases in the first stage and later they are given food and accommodation in the centre itself.
In Maharashtra, incessant showers have pummeled Mumbai and suburban areas since this morning. Deputy Director General of India Meteorological Department, IMD in Mumbai, K.S. Hosalikar said, satellite and radar indicate intense clouding over North Konkan, and due to this, Raigad, Thane, Mumbai, Palghar and parts of South Gujarat are very likely to receive intermittent spells of rain in the coming days. More from our correspondent.
After a brief relief, southwest monsoon has become active again over Mumbai and other parts of coastal Maharashtra since last couple of days. The Indian Meteorological Department today predicted heavy rainfall at isolated places in Mumbai and intense showers in neighboring districts for the next 24 hours. According to Mumbai IMD, the rainfall in Mumbai has already crossed its seasonal levels and now the city is experiencing excess rainfall. Till 5:30 p.m. today, Mumbai's Colaba Weather Bureau recorded 8.4 mm rainfall, while Santa Cruz weather station marked 38.6 mm rainfall. Likewise, Thane, Navi Mumbai, parts of Konkan, Nasik and central Maharashtra also witnessed intermittent spells of rain throughout the day today. Meanwhile, the IMD has also issued a brown alert of heavy to very heavy rainfall for Raigad, Nasik and Pune, while other parts of Maharashtra will receive light to moderate rain. Nivedita, AIR News, Mumbai.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Mumbai will experience generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Chennai will have cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 25 and 34 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 35 degrees. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be around 20 degrees, while the maximum will be 33 degrees. The city will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Ladakh will have mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between 18 and 32 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 18 and 36 degrees Celsius. It will experience partly cloudy sky. In Muzaffarabad, there will be partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius.
Himachal Pradesh government today launched nutritional immunity boosting Him Haldi Doodh turmeric latte manufactured by Milkfed. On this occasion, Chief Minister Jairam Thakur also disbursed incentives to the milk producers of Mandi, Shimla and Kullu districts under the National Programme for Dairy Development. He also interacted with them through video conference from Shimla. Him Haldi Doodh has been developed by the Biotechnology Department of Punjab University in Patiala and has been patented. This drink is a detox drink which has anti-hangover, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory and immunity booster contents in it. With an aim to provide financial assistance to around 17 lakh families, the Assam government is all set to roll out Arunodoy scheme in the state from the 2nd of October. Talking to media persons in Guwahati today, Finance Minister Himant Biswa Sarma said that under this scheme, an amount of 830 rupees will be given to eligible families per month to buy essential food items.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India conducts highest ever single-day COVID-19 tests of over 7,33,000 samples. Recovery rate improves to over 70%. National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19 meets for the first time today. Deliberates on strategy to ensure availability of coronavirus vaccines and its delivery mechanism. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari calls for increased international investment in Indian highways and MSME sectors. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch platform for transparent taxation honouring the honest tomorrow. And 121 police personnel awarded Union Home Minister's Medal for Excellence in Investigation for 2020. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.com. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.